everyone, and welcome to my YouTube channel, Upcycled Adulting, where I am here to help you overcome obstacles, grow to accomplish your goals, and create healthy habits. And today is no different. Do not forget to subscribe to this channel because I am always here helping you create your best life. So today, I'm going to be talking about bedtime routines. Now, I've already talked about morning routines and how to create your ideal morning routine, but today I'm going to talk about bedtime routines and how to create your ideal bedtime routine, especially if, or maybe I should say, even if you are a night owl, because bedtime routines are probably more impactful and important to night owls than to any other people, and they actually might be the most important routine in a night owl's day. However, everyone needs a solid bedtime routine. So even if you're not a night owl, don't go anywhere. So the true success of a day does not start with a morning routine. Sorry to all the morning routine people out there. I know that this has become a really popular topic in the world of personal development and growth, and it's talked about nonstop when we talk about healthy habits. But I'm here to tell you that whether you're a night owl or not, morning routine is not the most impactful routine of your day. Your bedtime routine is. And here's why. Lack of sleep, not getting enough sleep, is crazy impactful to your physical and mental health. And it's crazy impactful to your creativity, your productivity, and everything about how you function in your life. The average American is sleeping about 5 hours a night, and lack of sleep has actually now been linked to almost every major chronic disease, from heart disease, cancer, diabetes, you name it. Lack of sleep is connected to it. It's been bumped to the number 2 factor in weight loss, right there with nutrition. So nutrition, sleep, then exercise. It is everything. When you aren't getting enough sleep, your judgment is impaired, your mood is affected, your energy level is affected, you don't have the same clarity, you can't be nearly as productive, your stress tolerance is way lower, and overall, everything in your life suffers for it. Our quality of sleep is not determined by our morning routine. Our quality of sleep is determined by our bedtime routine, and so is our quantity of sleep, especially for y'all night owls. What happens a lot of times is we live very busy, very chaotic, and very demanding lives. And when we get our heads on the pillow, which is usually later than it really should be, we spend a lot of time stuck in our thoughts. Our brain starts running, right? You are exhausted, but your brain is just going a mile a minute. You're thinking about the things you need to do, the things you didn't get done, the conversation that you had earlier. You have the perfect response for that conversation. If you are a night owl, or if you're anything like me, you might be laying in bed solving major global problems, right? Thinking about, how would I solve food scarcity? How would I solve, okay, this is a real thing. Your brain gets going when you go to lay down. This is very true for night owls in particular. And what happens here is, even if we do get to sleep, we don't get restful sleep. And so setting ourselves up for a successful night of sleep, and enough of it, is really, really important. And that requires a 2-part bedtime routine. Now, a 2-part bedtime routine is kind of unique to me. I've never heard of it before, but it's the thing that works for me, and it's the thing that works for my clients. And I'm going to give you a few of the pieces that we like to put in there, but I want you to remember that creating a bedtime that works for you is very unique to you. However, you might want to try some of the techniques that we've found success with. So the first part of the bedtime routine is a reset. And reset means that you are preparing yourself for the next day. You're setting yourself up for success, and you're resetting your brain and kind of getting your brain to a place of understanding that it's going to be time to shut down soon. Okay, so this is an opportunity to really get the things out of our minds and to get the physical tasks done. So things that happen during the reset phase of the bedtime routine are laying out clothes for the next day, potentially packing lunches or prepping breakfast. Really anything that you can do to set yourself up for success in the morning, you want to do during this reset time frame. Now, if you are a night owl, this is particularly important because you are probably not completely coherent in the morning. Okay. If I wake up in the morning and I have to find my workout clothes, I am not working out because my brain just isn't engaged enough to be able to make these kinds of choices. So having things out already really helps set me up for success in the morning. But I need to do that with enough time to unwind. Otherwise, I'll go to bed thinking about other things I should have done. Once you get a routine going, you'll have the same set of things that you do every single day. In addition, I like to always check my planner during the reset time. I move things around. If something didn't get done, I'll shuffle it into a later time in the week, things like that. I do that to set myself up for optimal success in the mornings. Again, my brain takes some time to wake up, and this really gives me some clarity about what's going to happen in the next day. I'm most clear in the evening. I have a lot of energy in the evening. So this also gives me a place to put some of that energy. And then the third thing that I do and my clients do, and this has been a game changer in reset, is a brain dump. And what's a brain dump? You just get out a pad of paper or a piece of paper and you write down everything that's in your brain. That's it. You just write it all down on paper. Getting it physically from your brain into your hand and onto paper is incredibly helpful. Now, when you go to bed and you're thinking, oh, I can't forget, I need to remember, what about? I'm having anxious thoughts about the conversation I had earlier. That doesn't happen because it's on the paper. And if you have a thought come into your mind, you can say, oh, nope, I've got it on the paper. I don't need to worry about it. In the morning, you can review the paper, move anything that needs to be done into your to-do list. You can cross things off of there and you know what's going on. If it's easier for you, you can do that at night. As soon as you're done brain dumping, drop it into your schedule and be done with it. Whichever way prevents the anxious thoughts better for you. I find that processing through the whole thing at night is the way to go for me, but that is not true for everyone. A lot of my clients find it's better to review it in the morning. So that's one for you to play with yourself. The second part of the bedtime routine is rest. And this is incredibly important. So I'm going to tell you one thing you must do during rest that you may not be doing now, and that is turn off all your screens. It does not matter. I can do another video on this if you'd like. I'm in the process of building an app. So I'm going to tell you this because I think it's really important. It does not matter if your screens are in dark mode. That does not matter. Okay. If you want to know why, just tell me in the comments. I'll make another video on that. But as an app developer, I'm telling you, it does not matter. Okay, if your screens are in dark mode. So turn them off. This means not watching TV in bed. This means not scrolling on your cell phone in bed. By the way, for those of you who have or will watch morning routine, I want you to know that looking at your phone within a half an hour of waking up is also problematic, usually for your mindset. So phones right on the bookends of bedtime, let's shut them down. Okay, tablet, same thing. The one thing I will say is completely fine is if you have an e-reader and you put that on dark mode, go for it because that doesn't have the same flexibility as far as color scheme goes as all the other devices you have. All right, so that kind of gives you an idea why this is such a big deal. In addition to that, I also find that it's best for me to not eat anything or drink anything within a half an hour of going to bed. I actually find that it's best for me to stop eating within about 3 hours of going to bed. And I also don't work within 3 hours of going to bed. I work for myself. I work from home. I have a very flexible schedule. If I get a great work idea, I just jot it down in my planner or my notebook. I do not work on it because then, y'all, I'll be up all night long thinking about it. But in the rest phase, what you want to do is things that are conducive to resting and relaxing. So things that I love doing are I like to read a nonfiction book because if I read fiction, I will finish it instead of going to bed. And I like to get a cup of chamomile tea. Listen, always, wherever possible, you want to keep things as simple as you can, right? So I shut off my screens a half an hour before bed. I read a nonfiction book. I drink my chamomile tea, and I take myself on up to bed. That's what I do. Okay. Usually the last thing I do is put my teacup in the dishwasher and turn the dishwasher on. Just very honest there. What you want to do is create a 2-part bedtime routine. Reset is first. That's where you do the activities you need to do to set yourself up well for the next day, to eliminate some of those anxious thoughts. And then the next part is rest. In your rest phase, you can read, you can drink tea, you can stretch, you can do some yoga, you can take a hot bath, you can do a facial mask, you could, that really the choices are endless here. This is downtime. As a night owl, I find that I have to read during this time. If I don't read during this time, my brain will get going again. And then I'll go to bed and I'll be thinking of things, right? If I don't read during this time, I'll need to do a whole nother brain dump to clear my brain again. So what you want to do in creating your bedtime routine is start where you're at, whatever your bedtime routine is now, even if you don't have one, start where you're at and add a small thing to your reset and add a small thing to your rest. Now, these will not always be balanced. I have like 6 things in my reset and only like 3 things in my rest, and that's okay. They're not always going to be balanced. But what you want to do is make sure that you're addressing both of those. So when you get started, you want to make sure that you're taking a look at both pieces, not just one, and make adjustments. Now, I also want to just make sure that everybody out there remembers that the least amount of sleep that a human needs in their lifespan is 7 to 9 hours. 7 to 9 hours of sleep is the amount of sleep that's generally recommended for people between the ages of about 25 and 45. And any ages outside of there, or any health conditions, for example, I have an autoimmune condition, anything outside of that is going to require more sleep. In addition, we require more sleep in the winter. Most people need more sleep in the winter, is what I should say. And as women, we often have sleep fluctuations based on hormones and where we are in our cycle. Allow yourself adequate sleep. I know that this is a little difficult for night owls to hear because I myself have really struggled with this. Allow yourself adequate amounts of time to sleep. If you know that in the winter, at a certain point in your cycle, you need 9 hours of sleep, then always go to bed 9 hours before you need to wake up. Because here's the deal. If you go to bed at 10 o'clock at night because you know 7 o'clock you have to be out of that bed, and it is summer and you are not in that place on your cycle, and so you wake up at 6 or 6:30, it's not going to break your day to wake up a little earlier. It's not. I promise it's not. Especially for y'all night owls, it might give you a little space to adjust to the being awake process. Okay? But if you need 9 hours of sleep in January at this point in your cycle, and you only give yourself 8, your body will suffer because of it. Your body will suffer because of it. And good sleep hygiene matters, meaning going to bed at the same time every night. Once you start going to bed at the same time every night, you will find yourself waking up at a similar time every day, barring any of these extensions or shortenings that might just happen with cycle or season. And we need to give our body space to do that. It matters. It matters to your physical health. It matters to your mental health. It matters to your relationships. It matters to your productivity. It matters to every single part of your life. So give yourself adequate time to sleep. If y'all are struggling with getting adequate time to sleep because of the busyness that you experience through the day, and you have questions, specific questions about that, or you need help with that, please put that in the comments and I will create more content around those particular topics to help you create the space that you need in your life to sleep. I know that this probably sounds like an unusual or odd thing, or this might be unfamiliar with you, to prioritize sleep to the degree that you move everything in your life around needing to sleep. But unless there is a short life situation, like you're a brand new mom, this is absolutely a priority. Sleeping appropriately is just as much of a priority as eating. And we have to stop acting like sleep or rest is a luxury. It's not a luxury. It's devastating to your health to not get enough sleep. All right, do not forget to subscribe to this channel and leave me comments and let me know if there's anything here that you need a little extra help with, or that you're struggling to navigate, or that you need me to expand upon more, and I will create some content there to help you out. All right, you are amazing, and you deserve to live the life that you have been dreaming about. I know it. I believe in you. Get it done. Bye, everyone.